Hello and welcome back to our channel. My name is Dhalia Masud and I'm a plastic surgeon, and this is
Hayley.
Today we are going to talk about an interesting topic, I think, and that is discussing the facial beauty standards.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, facial beauty standards has changed significantly over the past, I would say, a few years, and importantly, how we maintain our facial beauty standards changed, and I feel we've got into a vicious circle. So, in your view, what do you think is attractive?
I think less is more now, and I think it's so refreshing when you see somebody naturally age to a point. And when I mean that, as in, I think too many younger girls nowadays are all looking very similar because we've done that whole, I'm not going to blame like the Molly May look, but that whole thing where there's lots of fillers and preventative Botox from a young age, which I personally don't think is actually a real thing, preventative Botox, because I think it just makes you look older. So I think looking like yourself is the way forward.
Yeah, and I agree with you. But one of the things that you said is aging to a point.
Yeah.
So what kind of skin type do you think is attractive when it comes to lines? You said aging. So would you be happy if you had lines on your forehead, lines underneath your eyes?
No,
which aren't due to aging, but we know some people are dynamic. You're quite dynamic. I think I'm a little bit dynamic. There are lots of people who naturally are quite expressive, and they develop these deep lines.
Yeah.
Not due to age.
No.
It's due to the way they are. Now, would you be happy? Do you think that's attractive?
Yeah, I do.
And if you had those lines, what would you?
I would erase them.
Yeah.
I think when you hit a certain age, so I'm now in my 40s, I think you need to look expressional to a point. But I do understand that some lines I want to get rid of.
Yeah.
So I'm a 50-50, but I do feel that you shouldn't start I think probably my point is don't start too young, because then you're going to be in this vicious circle where you're going to see the changes and you get blindness to it and you can go too far.
I think, personally, this is what I need to do. I know it doesn't happen. I think what we need to do is separate lines that are associated with expression.
Yeah.
And lines that are associated with age. And we'll talk about the lines associated with age. And the reason why I think it's important is it is a form of communication, particularly when we're around children.
Yeah.
And I recently heard about something which made me think, and it made me think once, twice, and three times. And that is the Gen Z stare. Have you heard of the Gen Z stare?
No.
So the Gen Z stare is when you speak to someone young in the Gen Z generation, it doesn't matter what the level of emotion is expressed to them.
Okay.
They have this blank stare. It's almost as if they can't imitate or present a feeling of emotion.
Yes.
And there's lots of theories why that is happening. There's societal influences, the fact that they've been in COVID and they have been to communicate. And I also think, and I would be interested to do research in children who have mothers that are completely Botoxed.
So it's actually interesting you say that because I went to have a Botox consultation. This is the first time I was going to have it done. And I was breastfeeding at the time, and they actually refused to give me Botox because they said the same thing. You need to have an expression for your child. So I thought that was actually really good.
Yeah.
I'm sure not all Botox people are like that, but they were you need at least a year.
Absolutely.
So that's quite interesting you said that.
Whether it's related or not, but I just think there will be a generation of children growing up whose parents are completely expressionless.
Frozen in time,
and they've learned how to deal with emotions, and that's usually with a frozen expression. And the fact that this statement has come up is quite interesting. I can't prove it, but I'm just speculating. So that's something I think we should consider.
I agree, and I think as well, such a pressure on girls. I'm sure men have it done as well, Botox, but for young girls, I feel that they have this beauty, a bit like how we did when we were younger. A lot of it was to do with weight, being skinny was super cool back then. But I feel, especially now I've got a daughter, I'm like, this preventative Botox when you're 21, that's not, what is that? That's not even a thing.
No.
And it's expensive. Where are these girls getting that money from? It's such an expense to be a woman anyway. Adding that on top of it.
So I think we both agree it's important to have expression.
Expression for sure. You don't need to overfill it.
We don't need to over freeze your face.
No.
Now, when you hit a certain age,
Yes.
we develop age lines which represent our age, whether we're in our 30s, whether we're in our 40s, and sometimes it's also sun damaged skin. And those age lines are prominent in the fine lines, particularly around the eyes.
Yeah.
And they just get deeper.
Yes.
Yeah. And other lines. So what do you think about those lines? And why are we not finding those attractive? I think.
It's difficult. I actually like how Pamela Anderson is now going completely makeup free.
Do you really?
I wouldn't do it personally. I wouldn't do it personally, but I do like how she is embracing that.
Yeah.
I think that's great for her. And actually, I do think she looks good. Yeah. She does look good. Yeah. But, however, people should be able to do what they want nowadays. Yeah. And I'm all for her doing that. I think she does look good. It's difficult, isn't it? I personally don't. I want to grow old gracefully and look after my skin. But I think that's why we now are going into other things. I don't always think that the Botox and the filler is the way forward.
No, I think you're right. The more you Botox your face, the more you paralyze your muscles. The longer the muscles are paralyzed, they waste away. And when they waste away, they give you more of a gaunt look. Because a youthful face, you need to have plump subcutaneous tissue, or the layer underneath. And also the plump muscles. Botox at a young age is not good for you.
No, and I think you need to find somebody who can do Botox really well. So know what they are actually putting in your face, what is in the Botox. Because I didn't know back in the days what I was having put in my face. I was just quite happy to do whatever. But now I'm a bit more
So you would
conscious.
So when you hit a certain age, although you are happy with, or you would know women who are embracing their age.
Yeah, it's not for me.
It's not for you at this.
To a point. But then I think my skin is okay, so I don't have that much done to my face at the moment. But I'm not against people having it done. But I do think, like everything, it comes with age. I didn't really start doing anything to my face until I hit 40. So my 30s, I didn't have any Botox. But as soon as I hit 40, like now is the time to just help a little bit. But again, I wouldn't have it done all the time. It was more if I was going on holiday or Christmas time, when you just want to feel and look your best.
Yeah. No, that's great. So I think Botox is a really good tool. I don't think we will ever, in the next decade or so, be totally content with aging.
No, but I also think with Botox, because it's not a permanent thing, I'm for it. Because if you need a break from it, you can. I think the issue that is when you are changing your face significantly with like fillers.
Yeah. And that
there's alternatives.
Yeah. So I think it's important to maintain your original features.
Yeah.
Maintain some expression. Yes, we age, and it's important to go to a person who understands that process.
Yeah.
I suppose, and do judicious use of Botox so it's safe.
Yes.
Now, you moved on to fillers. Now, one of the latest trends with fillers, people use fillers for two reasons, in my opinion. Okay. Number one, to morphologically change their face. Even though they're young and they're healthy, they want to morphologically completely change their image.
Yeah.
And then you've got another group of patients who use fillers to help with the aging process. So let's talk about the morphological changes of the face, and that is specifically the lips. So changing the lips, some people have thin lips, and that's a genetic thing. Some people have slightly more full lips. But now we are moving to this, or we have moved to this complete, massive, large lips. Even for young people who are going for the conservative approach, they do really fill their lips up.
Yeah. Yeah, not, to be fair, a lot of my friends don't, but I think we're a different generation, so we've already dealt with our lips being the way they are. But the younger generation, I'll say that, there's some older people obviously that I have seen, it's once you have them put in, you're like, wow, these look amazing. And then you'll be like, oh, I'll just have another mil top up. But it can go too far where you then, I've seen some horrors where the filler is outside of the lip. line, and then that just looks crazy. It's more from the side profile. They can look really caricature, but equally I have seen good ones. I think if you just one and done, great, that looks perfect. But no, I think the thing is, one, I would definitely prefer. So when we did the PRP on my lips, obviously after a few hours when it had calmed down, absolutely loved them because they looked really full. They didn't look dehydrated. And I think that is a real aging sign for women, is their lips. However, I feel like it's more young ones that are putting the filler in, which they shouldn't have. Just drink water. Don't be dehydrated.
So that's morphologically changing your face. Now, fillers are also used to try and reverse aging. And how people use fillers is that as you age, your face becomes more rectangular. So you lose the triangulation of the bottom part of your face, and it becomes more of a rectangle, and all the volume from the top drops to the bottom. So theoretically,
you're saying I'm going to get a square face.
So that's what happens when you age. You become a little bit more square. And what fillers are theoretically supposed to do, it's an attempt to fill out the lines.
Okay.
But people also use it in the jawline and various parts of the face to lift it up again, to try and rejuvenate and recreate that. It's not very good. So you fill it to fill out the lines. As a suction effect, the skin kind of lifts up over it and it fills out.
I think sometimes you can look like you have a chubbier face.
I think it's a really counterintuitive way of reversing the aging process using fillers. First of all, we don't think it is as temporary as people say, as the industry says it is.
No, because I thought you have to dissolve it. But then I've heard horror stories that people have had it dissolved, but then when they've gone in and had surgery, the surgeons are still scraping it out.
Yeah. And there have been studies where people have had fillers over the years, and despite them being past the period of being it completely gone, they've done MRI scans and it's still there.
Yeah, because what actually is in
So it's
filler?
hyaluronic acid, which is a substance that's normally in the skin, but it's concentrated.
Okay.
And in it's got different cross-links in it to make it thick.
Does it hurt?
It can
To inject
hurt.
it can hurt.
Inject it, particularly in the lips, it can hurt to inject it. Now, when you put anything foreign in your face or in your body, your body reacts to it. You get inflammation, you get scarring.
Oh, really? From filler you can get
From
scarring?
the filler, yeah.
Okay.
So even when this filler has theoretically dissolved, let's say some of it has dissolved, there will still be some kind of remnant behind, from the filler, but also from the scarring secondary to the injection and the filler around it.
Oh, wow. I did not know that.
That's why some people say, I had filler 10 years ago and I've still got the effects. It's still inside me. There probably is a bit inside you, but it's more the scarring and the fibrotic reaction to the filler that's still there.
Okay.
So if you are dissolving that, you're not going to dissolve the reaction to it. You might dissolve whatever little bit of filler that's left behind to an extent, but it's going to be difficult to dissolve all the scar reaction. And even when people try and dissolve it, if you've seen the technique that's used, filler can spread, and if you inject in one small area, you're not going to be able to catch everything. You'd have to make many holes to be able to get the whole lump of hyaluronic acid or filler that's been in there.
Yeah, I have never had filler. It's not really something I would want to have done. However, each their own. But I just don't like the idea of it.
And now research has shown that filler can affect the lymph flow.
Okay.
It can block certain lymphatic passages.
Odd.
Yeah.
I do. I mean, I really like PRP. Yeah. My skin has never looked better.
Oh, good.
I absolutely love it. Because you only have to do it twice a year?
I do it twice a year. You can do it more often if you've got an occasion, but I do
twice a year, and then with a collagen booster, which helps. I feel that has really helped my skin because then it is your natural product. It's your own blood going back into your face, and you do the
fat grafting.
Yeah.
Fat grafting is, I feel, a really good alternative.
The results are really good.
When we inject it, we overfill. It does swell a little bit more than normal fillers or artificial fillers. And I would say between 40 to 50% of it does disappear. That's why we overfill.
Yeah.
But the bit that whatever is left behind is yours forever.
Yeah. The results are really good. I have seen it. It's like the lipo thing for me.
Not yet.
Not yet. I'm not going to say no, because actually, if my face later on starts looking a little bit, then I would do it. I would do it. It's not that bad.
Yeah.
It's really not that bad. But I don't think I could do that just yet.
Yeah. Great. So, anything else you want to say? We need to learn to embrace our aging self.
We do need to
I
learn
don't
to
think we
embrace
will
it.
do it anytime soon.
No, because I'm equally going to keep
Yeah.
doing all these little tweakments, as we call them.
And we've got a group of pioneering women going ahead with their natural self.
Which I love.
We've got Pamela Anderson. We've got, who's the guy from John Wick? Reeves' wife. Partner. She's very natural.
I think you should do more natural things, because the whole thing is, people like celebrities, they look a certain way, and now we're just trying to morph them as such. We're trying to morph each other and trying to look like we all look the same. And actually, you are your own unique self, and you should embrace your own quirky features for sure. Don't change too much, because then you're not going to be you.
Absolutely. And I think it's important that we have people of varying different ages in the social media.
Yeah.
Because there is another study
Okay.
that shows, so they did a study on a number of people, and they showed them some people that were deemed attractive, whatever. And they asked individuals to grade them out of 10, mark them out of 10.
Oh, gosh.
Who do you find more attractive?
Okay.
And who do you find not attractive? And they all graded them, and they had their break. And then they said, okay, so imagine you graded these people, and you graded the conventional people attractive and not so conventional people not attractive.
Okay.
And then I come to you and I said, you just graded them. Somebody else, 10 other people actually had a look at this, and they actually found those people that you marked 3 out of 10 were actually 8 out of 10 or 10 out of 10.
Yeah.
And then that person looked back, and then they said, okay, I can understand why they found that person attractive. I see that attractiveness. And they reevaluated the score and found them attractive and put them at a higher score.
Okay.
So it just shows how when we talk about people as attractive, and we see more people, and there is a diversity of various people that are put on a pedestal as attractive, more people will find them attractive. So we are massively influenced by social media. That's why people like the people who are expressing themselves in a natural way, the more we see it, I think the more we will find them attractive.
I think that is the thing. I think in the last 5 years, for sure, it's always been enhancements massively. Boobs, hair. Thing is, you don't know it's got to the point where your hair isn't real. Your nails obviously the same. Nails aren't real. It's so easy now just to buy a look. But equally,
I think for our younger generation, we just need to learn to expose them to various different people of various different age, and then make sure that it also perceive them as attractive.
Yeah, everybody is attractive in their own way, in their own unique ways. Embrace your natural
self.
With a few tweakments.
Yeah. Great. So thank you very much for joining us, and hopefully we will see you in the next one.
Yes.